Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome to my new attention to the fiber arts that I love. I'm gonna film my Tour de Fleece go today. I've already done a little bit of videoing, but right now I want to apply this onto this. I'm gonna do, I'm going to attempt to do a Navajo ply. Now, I have not Navajo plied anything for a very long time. So, if you're seeing this, it means it all worked out, because if I'm not able to do it, you're not ever gonna know. So I spun this in S twist, I believe. No, Z. So now I'm going to spin it in S. And then I'm going to try to, just want to get it started a little bit, and then I'm going to make a loop. And it's been, I can't even tell you, a long time. 10 years since I have Navajo plied. And it's a really great way to get a 3-ply yarn and not have 3 bobbins going. This is just the beginning. I'm not worried about how pretty it is yet. What I'm just doing is making a loop. Making a loop. I'm going to try to keep my hands where you can see them. This wheel really spins fast, so I gotta slow my feet down. Can you see? Let me see what you're seeing. Yeah, you can. It's basically a crochet loop. Making a loop. The wheel is doing all the spinning. This is way overspun. Slow my roll just a little. And I tried to play bobbin chicken when I spun this on the bobbin, so it is probably going to end up in yarn vomit in a minute, because there's going to be a big clump. That's the official term, yarn vomit. There's going to be a great big huge clump of fiber come off of that bobbin that's on the ground, and I'm going to have to undo it. I hope not, but we'll see. So the whole purpose of Tour de Fleece is to spin, to play with fiber, to wash fiber, to pick fiber, to make yarn, whatever with fiber. Oh, see here, now it's stuck. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem. It's going to be hard to get it off here, because if I let go of my loop, then I basically start over. Let's see if I can get it to behave. Let's see if that'll work. I just have to get past this first little bit where I was too lazy to stop and change the bobbin. So I overspun the bobbin. Oh no, where's my circle? Ah! See, it's just a, you can tell, well, I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it really is just a crochet loop. I've got to get my loop bigger, because this wheel spins fast. This is an Ashford Joy wheel. This is the one. Oh, yeah, you gotta have some patience. I'm almost out of patience, because I got some bad news this morning. Doug called me out to look at the fiber shed. Today is, what is today? Sunday. and he insulated it yesterday. And while he was insulating it, he noticed that the paneling on the walls, they don't match, the lines don't match up. Well, that's not really a big deal, except, uh-oh, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. I can't, oh gosh, I just lost my circle. So the paneling has lines in it that go horizontal, and I wanted it to kind of have a feel like it was board and batten, or what's that other one? Lath and plaster. Well, not lath and plaster. Anyway, and I like the paneling, but there's a 2.5-inch difference from one end of the studio to the other, long ways, 12 foot. And you can, which I don't really care, it wouldn't have mattered to me if it was sheetrock, no big deal, you can't tell because you're just going to texture it all. But these lines go downhill. And Doug knows how I am about symmetry. He says, did you notice this? No, I did not notice it. Uh-oh, guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fix this. So now we have to hope the guys show up on Monday. Mondays aren't their best day to come to work. At least for me. Maybe they're working somewhere else. I don't know. And have a sit down and say, what up, guys? What's going on here? Because it's so noticeable. And I know I won't be able to live with it. It'll bother me really bad. Because the outlets all look crooked. It all looks like it's going downhill. It's kind of an optical illusion. Sort of. It actually is. We measured from the floor. It's the floor that's wrong. And it could be that the building has settled. But we're going to have to come up with a fix because I don't want it the way it is. And I don't mind that it's screwed up. I don't mind that we have a problem. That's not what bothers me. Anytime you're building something, you're going to have things that they're not perfect, and you have to kind of make do or whatever. You have to change things, whatever you got to do. Adjust materials, trim a little wider, whatever. I'm fine with that. But I don't know how they're going to fix this. And, okay, that might work. And if I get any attitude, that's not going to be good. If they, if they're not willing to make it straight. Now can I find my loop? So, yeah, that was not good. But like I said, stuff happens, and I don't mind rolling with it. That's fine. I'm kind of sad that they left it that way. I mean, it's noticeable, really noticeable. One part of the wall we measured, it was 3 inches difference. I mean, it's noticeable to the eye, when you look at it. So we'll see. We'll just have to see, if they're like, okay, well, I was going to do this or that, and see if I could fix it, or, what, I don't know. But that's not professional workmanship, and it's not like I'm paying my brother who doesn't know how to do it and willing to say, oh, well, it's a learning experience. He's never done it before. No, that's not it. These guys are supposed to know what they're doing, so I'm going to hold him to it. Doug's going to hold him to it, whatever. So this is Navajo pine. It's a little awkward because my knee is so close to I'm trying to keep my hands where you can see them. But basically I'm just making a loop, gathering the yarn that's off of the bobbin, pulling it through the loop and letting the wheel twist it. And my left hand is trying to control the twist, but honestly my feet are going way too fast, so it's over twisting, so I'm trying to rectify that. Yay. This is gorgeous yarn and fiber, I mean. And it's Cotswold. I've never spun Cotswold before, and I'm hooked. It's got a sheen to it. And this fiber actually still smells like sheep, which is, I love that. I don't want to spin fiber that has lost any resemblance that it used to be on an animal. You can go buy yarn for that. And I'm not a knitter, or, you know, I can crochet, but I don't do that a lot, so, you know, I love this part. I love spinning, cleaning the fiber, being around the animals, that kind of stuff. So I don't want fiber that's been so scoured that you can't really tell that it's ever been on an animal. I don't want it to smell yucky though. So when I get, this has a pretty strong odor, so when I get it spun up, oh, that sounded like a gun. When I get it spun up, my goal is I'm gonna wash it again. Oop, oop, oop. Let's move you down. I'm gonna wash it again. Really overspun. And then I'll, what they call thwack it. Some people don't do that, they just hang it with weights, but they say if everything that I've learned, and it makes better sense to me to thwack it, because it lets the fibers all adjust. I think of it as balancing out. The tight parts loosen. Come on. The tight parts loosen up, and the spin that's looser will, what do we got here? Will tighten, and it just rights itself like it should be. It's almost like the fiber knows how it's supposed to be, so it'll right itself. This is way overspun. So hopefully, went backwards. See, this shouldn't do this. It shouldn't, in theory, after I apply this, it's the last time it'll be on the wheel. So this should hang. And it's not going to be able to do that because I'm spinning it way too. Let me unspin this a little bit. See if I can take some of this twist out. That's much better. See how it's not quite so, it's still over twist, but it's not quite so bad. Now I'm just gonna hand twist this so that it doesn't put any more spin on the fiber. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. This would be great for like fingerless gloves or a winter hat, a vest. I guess you could wear this next to your skin as far as like a sweater. I couldn't, I'm too sensitive. I'm really sensitive. But some people probably could. See, at this point, it should not twist up on itself. It should hang nicely when I let go. But it's not doing that because I over twisted it. We'll see when I thwack it if it needs more attention. So today is Sunday. We have a gorgeous day. Sounds like our neighbors still have some fireworks left over. I hope they let them all off today. Get it done. I'm sick of waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning with loud, bangs. That's not a noise that your body will sleep through. Lots of people are camping. We have friends that are at a family reunion right now, and then when they get back, probably today, they're going to move into their new house. I'm sure they're excited. I remember when we moved in here, I've got some videos on my channel actually of all the boxes in my craft room. Oh, this is so overspun. This wheel is just so easy that it's really easy to get your foot going too fast. Then there's just too much energy in the yarn. I can't get over how soft this fiber feels. I don't think it's supposed to be soft. It's a primitive breed, Cotswold is. Alright, now I'm back to my loop. See that? So without using my feet, I'm gonna go ahead and do a big long loop and let some of that twist come out. Slow feet, Carol, slow. There we go. I'm just picking it up, sliding it through. Kind of taking a long draw at it to get some of the spin out. I mean the twist out. I can't talk and ply at the same time. There's a a knitter and crocheter group here that every year in August they go up in the mountains that I look at from my deck right here, and they spend, I think it's a 4-day weekend, and they knit and crochet solid for days, 3-4 days. And they pick an organization, whoops. They pick an organization every year to donate to. And I did a video, I want to say it was 300 hats that they donated last year. I wasn't able to go up there and camp. I don't have a camper, so Doug said he'd set the car up for me so I could put a mattress in the back and take a cooler, and I have a little, I have something to cook on, and I could have a coffee pot. I have a French press, so I could have a coffee pot. And that all sounds romantic, but honestly, I just didn't have what it was gonna take to, I'm gonna just break this and make it easy on myself. I didn't have the heart to do it. So I just went up there and said hi and visited and stuff. I can't remember who they donated to, but I'd never seen how they set everything up and stuff. People bring their cars, and some people do camp. And the mountain is gorgeous. There's all kinds of critters, and deer and moose, and I think there's bear up there, but there's not a lot of bears up there. Where's my... But if Doug and I get a camper van like we want, that would be perfect. I could drive it up there and have my own bathroom and my own kitchen, and okay, there's my loop. Now the trick is I've got to reconnect these and not lose my loop. I don't know how I'm going to do that actually. Let's just see if I can pull it off. Maybe. Nope. Let's see. If I make my loop bigger, I might be able to do it. So I went outside and Doug showed me, and he knows how I am, and if something is not level, my eye catches it, and I can't have that. And so he wanted me to see it, to see, is this something you're going to be able to live with? And no, it's not. So he's talking now about, he's going to make he knew I was really sad about the whole thing, and let's see. And so he came in just a few minutes ago, and he said, "Don't worry, we're going to make it right. What if we sheetrocked it instead of that paneling that has lines on it?" Well, yeah, that would work. It would make it so your eye doesn't see any lines, but that doesn't negate the fact that the floor is, or something, I don't know, the floor or something is 2.5 inches off. Or, so when I sit in my chair in that corner, am I going to feel like I'm tipping over backwards? And why should I have to settle because it's not right? Do we need to jack the building up? Don't tell me that's got to happen. I mean, Doug's got it all skirted and it's all insulated, and I don't even know how that would even happen. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it today. And I had to leave because I don't want to be in the space and have all that sadness and negative energy. So I decided to come inside and shake it off, which I have. Now that I've talked about it, I'm a little emotional, but slow down, slow down. That's the speed I should be going. Look how beautiful it is. Wow. Navajo natives do this without a wheel. Yeah, talk about talent. Wow. For years I've wanted to go to one of the tribes, and it's still way overspun. And be witness to the dying and all of that. And I know there's places where they invite people to come and see how they do it. See, this is so spun so hard, so tight, that I don't even have to turn my wheel and it spins, because there's just so much energy in the fiber. This is not the best. I'm going to clarify by telling you this is not a tutorial. It might even be a what not to do video. And my understanding is by doing a Navajo ply, it can be used, the yarn can be used to either knit or crochet. That's what I've been told. I don't know that to be a fact. Oops. So if anybody does know for sure, let me know. I know, at least if my memory serves me, we're supposed to spin in S for crochet, because if you don't, as you crochet, you undo the twist. Come on. Slow down, slow down. My other wheel, when you spin on it, it has a tick, so it goes tick, 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 and I love that. I don't know where that came from. Let's see if we can tighten it a little bit. That might be too far gone. Wow, this is gorgeous. See if I can get that out of there. All of this that I'm having to undo and redo and wind it on and everything, it's all because I'm going too fast. It's just a matter of me getting used to this wheel, and being more familiar with the wheel really helps, but being familiar with the technique really is the ticket. And it's been so long since I plied. I've two-plied. That's what I normally do, but this I wanted to Navajo ply because I want it to be hefty. And I'm assuming that you'll be able to crochet or knit. And I don't know if I'll be able to get this twist out when I thwack it or not. I hope so. Okay. Oh, I got my hands backwards. Oh my gosh. Well, I may have to take a break because it's not going very smooth. Okay, let's try it again. Try it one more time. There we go. No, that's not right. There we go. I gotta have one hand on the fiber so that it just doesn't continue to just spin and spin and spin and twist and twist and twist. Stuff like this is the reason why a lot of spinners don't like doing commission yarn, because it can be very intimidating to spin yarn for somebody, because everybody has their own idea of beautiful. And some people want, a yarn that's really tight, tiny twist. Some people, I like yarn that's bulky and looks hand done, But some people don't. Some people spin and their goal is to make it look like thread. And they don't want any bumps, and they don't want any variables in the amount of twist. They want it real consistent. I get that. I absolutely get that being a goal. Not my goal, but I can see why people would want, have that goal. Because it feels like perfection, and some people are that way. And that's why I don't sew. It's very hard for me to get in that headspace where distance, where you have to measure hems that are, that are exactly the same distance, and all that. I don't want to do that. But I'm sure glad there's people who do. See right here, I let the fiber loop before I let go. Still has too much twist. And because we're doing it backwards, the goal is to not have that. I don't want to have it so spun the other way that it's starting to unravel. You kind of hold on to it and then let go, and it twists so fast that the yarn doesn't have time to unravel itself. I was watching a gal today, and I think it was from, oh, that's terrible. Let me see if I can get it leveled out. I think she was from the Shacked store. That's what this wheel is a Shacked. And she was talking about twist and she was talking about twist and memory and all of that, and I was just thinking, you know, back in the day when spinning was it wasn't only seen as an art, it was a necessity. You know, you had to spin to wear clothes. You had to, that's how they made cloth. And it's just interesting to me, all of the things over time that we've decided is good or not good, or you know, did they do that too, or no? You know, they must have had spinners that could provide a proficient yarn enough for certain things, I guess. I would imagine. Be just like any other craft or art. Oh, I hope I can get this twist out of here. It's pretty tight. Well, this is what I'm doing today, guys. I got some hamburger out for spaghetti, but that's all. I haven't chopped up any garlic. I haven't gone downstairs to see what we have as far as marinade, or I'm trying to go through my pantry, because here in just like a minute we're going to be loaded. The farmer's market is going to be loaded with tomatoes and all kinds of stuff, and I want to use what I have in the pantry so I can rotate things. And I have a gal from the spinners group here. She's coming over, and we're going to look at, I've donated some prizes for the team for Tour de France, and she's donated a ton of fiber. She says she's a hoarder, but hoarders don't get rid of their stuff. Man, she's got a lot. So she's donating some of hers, which is very generous of her. some pretty prizes together. Well, I'm gonna take a break because I think I'm just, oh, look at that, guys, it's beautiful, but it's spun way too tight. And I'm tired of winding it on my head, so, oh, don't do that, don't do that. So I'm gonna go see what Doug's doing. And I hope that I can get up in my room and make a card, but I haven't done it yet. Looks like dreadlocks. Probably could use them as dreadlocks if I wanted to. Okay. Alright guys, that's my spinning video. You can tell I haven't done it for a long time, but it's still fun. Let's all take care of each other, y'all. Bye.